California is struggling to meet its cash flow needs, and as a result, it's delaying nearly $3 billion in payments to counties and school districts.
Action News reporter Brian Callahan talked with local officials about how long they're preparing to weather the storm.
Any delay in state payments puts an increased burden on the county's resources and cash that could be utilized for other essential public services.
Butte County officials say they've been expecting delayed payments from the state as lawmakers struggle to pass a budget.
They range in tens of millions of dollars, and so this is not an insignificant amount of money.
The Board of Supervisors has been working since June to free up short-term funding to pay for state programs during the deferment. But officials say the state needs to pass a budget soon.
The longer this goes, the worse it gets.
Counties aren't the only agencies affected by the delays. $2.5 billion in school district funding is being deferred a month ahead of schedule. Butte County education officials say federal stimulus dollars and flexibility in using state funds is helping many districts stay afloat.
Because those dollars are in the bank right now and not have been spent yet, there probably will be enough cash that even with this type of change, districts will be okay.
Bultema says a lot of the frustration for district officials comes in the confusion these moves create. He says the difference in the way budgets are handled at the state and district levels makes it difficult for schools to present a clear picture of what the future holds.
And probably the most frustrating thing is that we have to approve 3-year budgets in education, current and then a 2-year out budget, and show that we actually can meet our obligations. The state doesn't have to do that.
In Oroville, Brian Callahan, Action News.
District officials we spoke with today say they should be able to handle the deferred payments this year. But if the state has to make a similar move in 2011 or 2012, it would be a lot tougher to handle.
California is not among the states chosen to receive money in the second round of the $4 billion Race to the Top school reform grant competition. 9 states and the District of Columbia were chosen. The competition has instigated a wave of reforms across the country as states passed new teacher accountability policies and lifted caps on charter schools to boost their chances of winning. Tennessee and Delaware were named winners in the first round of the competition back in March, sharing $600 million. Today's winners will share a remaining $3.4 billion. An increasing percentage of California students are passing the high school exit exam required for graduation. The State Department of Education says 94% of seniors in the class of 2010 passed the exit exam, which tests basic skills in math and English. That's up from just 90% back in 2006. The first year, seniors were required to pass the exam to graduate. This figure does not include students with disabilities who were exempt from last year from passing this exam.
A warning about a phone call you may be getting if you live in Butte County. Someone is calling residents and asking them to donate money to Butte County Search and Rescue. The problem is Search and Rescue has already held its fundraiser this year and is not soliciting donations right now. The caller asked people to send a check to an address on Mangrove Avenue. Well, it turns out that's a UPS store post office box. The call is being made from a number in Tacoma, Washington. If you receive the call, do not send money. Instead, call the Butte County District Attorney's Office to report the scam.
The temperature is heating up in the North State, and in Redding, so is a battle over one of the coolest vendors in town, the Ice Cream Man. Action News reporter Elizabeth Gadley explains why not everyone is screaming ice cream in this neighborhood.
Everyone loves the Ice Cream Man, and Parkview resident Bill Olch says he's no different. What he doesn't like is the music blaring from the trucks 7 days a week.
I prefer to think of it as a sound truck issue. It just so happens to be that the sound truck that's a problem in this neighborhood sells ice cream.
For 2 years, Olch has been trying to get the trucks to turn down the music and stay off the streets after dark and on Sundays in accordance with the sound truck ordinance.
I don't think we need sound broadcasting 7 days a week. Six is plenty. We certainly don't need it after dark or toward dusk. And I think realistically the guy could turn the thing down a little bit.
The owner of Jiffy's Ice Cream, Jeff Hostetter, disagrees. In fact, he says Sunday is his busiest day.
It's the end of the weekend. The community is settled. The kids are playing. It's an excellent day to just sit back and enjoy an ice cream.
To avoid problems, Hostetter tells his drivers to stay away from Olch's neighborhood on Sundays. When one accidentally headed down Freebridge Street last Sunday, Olch called the police and had the driver cited.
Since we've been in business since 1973, we've never been stopped or hassled or issued a citation in violation of the noise ordinance.
The misdemeanor citation is a criminal complaint and punishable by up to 1 year in jail, but it's not likely to get that far.
Most people are pretty happy to hear the sound of an ice cream truck and maybe buy an ice cream. So I think the possibility of loosening the ordinance so that the ice cream vendors are not cited on a Sunday is probably appropriate.
The goal is to have a revised ordinance in front of the City Council in the next couple of months, but with budget constraints and an upcoming election, it could take a little longer to get the ice cream truck issue settled. In Reading, I'm Elizabeth Gadley for Action News.
The owner of Jiffy's Ice Cream threatened to sue the city for lost revenue if officials don't lift the Sunday ban.
A well-established North State Gymnastics Center has been saved with a buyout. Action News reporter Britt Carlson explains.
Actually saved this center for the community.
The massive gymnasium and daycare center founder Marcia Carter created 27 years ago is changing.
It hurts in my heart, but I'm very glad to pass it on.
Last week, the 40,000 square foot building that houses the Oroville Gymnastics Sports Academy was officially sold for $3.4 million to the Feather River Recreation and Parks District. As it turns out, it was one of the final transactions Butte Community Bank approved before it was taken over by federal regulators last week.
We assisted by giving the bank a little more support in making the project work. Community Bank is there to support the community financially and all community-based types of projects.
After losing close to 100 kids to public after-school programs, the academy was never able to recover in this economy. But the Parks District is working with Carter to stay true to the community's needs.
What it really helped do was create and retain jobs. With this project, with both agencies, there will be approximately 13 new jobs created, and then 52 retained.
We've been serving children over these 27 years, and they caught our dream to continue it for physical education for children and after-school programs for children.
This is already the best gymnastics facility in the state of California, but it's expected to be even better when it becomes the Feather River Recreation and Activity Center.
Trying to provide more activities for the kids. Just to expand our horizons.
Like rock climbing, dancing, art, and karate. That variety will hopefully draw in hundreds of students and bring a new life to Oroville Recreation. In Oroville for Action News, I'm Britt Carlson.
Well, the Feather River Parks District will be moving to the Activity Center next month.
The Department of Motor Vehicles announced this week that North State offices will be closing for technical upgrades, just a few of them, and the Chico office is one of the locations included in this upgrade. It will be closed tomorrow so new cameras can be installed. A DMV spokesperson says the cameras will be used for a new form of driver's license that the DMV will start issuing later this year.
Keeping up with teens and their social lives is challenging because of social networks. Up next, tips on how you can keep an eye on your kids' online activity and keep them safe from predators.
And attorneys general from several states want Craigslist to remove a category of listings saying it promotes illegal activity.
We'll talk about our heat wave that we've got going on. Record heat today. We'll talk about who broke records and who's going to break records tomorrow when Action News returns.